Ideas well done. So someone requested me to have the holiday package that we discuss on YouTube the way I did it. So I have started with this chemistry number 1, which is telling us to prepare lead 2 nitrate, dry sample of lead 2 nitrate, starting with the lead 2 oxide, and even write an equation. So when preparing lead 2 nitrate, we have a quote that says that all nitrates are soluble. So if all nitrates are soluble, meaning we are going to prepare a soluble salt. So this soluble salt that we are going to prepare, there are ways of preparing a soluble salt, and the ways of preparing a soluble salt, there is action of an acid on an insoluble oxide or hydroxide, action of an acid on a metal, action of an acid, and even the other 2 ways. So for this case, we shall focus on action of an acid on an insoluble oxide, as we are having our lead 2 oxide, which is an insoluble oxide. So of course, we are going to the acid will act on the insoluble oxide. So we shall first pour our, for this case it is lead 2 nitrate, so we cannot use hydrochloric acid which is having chlorine, so we should use nitric acid which contains a bit of nitrogen. So my dear, don't mind about the environment I'm using. So the nitric acid will be poured in a beaker, then we shall start adding there our lead 2 oxide little by little while stirring. As we add our lead 2 oxide while stirring, we shall add that lead 2 oxide until no more can dissolve in the acid. So we are adding the lead 2 oxide until no more is dissolving, meaning we are making the acid saturated. Saturated solution, of course, is that where no more solute is dissolving. After which we shall of course filter off the excess lead 2 oxide. For this case, the excess solid of lead 2 oxide is filtered off, then the filtrate that remains is evaporated, and of course it will be evaporated until crystals begin to form. Those crystals that are forming are of lead 2 nitrate. Then the crystals are washed using distilled water, then dried by pressing them in between 2 filter papers. Those are the steps that we have for this description. So that is our number 1A chemistry holiday package. Then number 1B chemistry, it says explain. So for the other case of number 1A, we shall have the writing maybe in the next video. I request you to subscribe, my dear. Explain what is observed in each case and write an equation for the reaction between the following compounds added to lead 2 nitrate. When we are going to get our lead 2 nitrate, we shall add that they are same. For Roman numeral 1, they are telling us to get our lead 2 nitrate, and we add hydrochloric acid. Remember, lead 2 nitrate is a salt and it is now an aqueous, plus the hydrochloric acid they are telling us which is an aqueous. So for this case, we are having, now we can see that the reaction that is going to take place is a decomposition reaction. A decomposition reaction, this is a reaction between two solution compounds to produce a decomposition reaction is a reaction between 2 soluble compounds to produce 2 new compounds, one of which is soluble and the other insoluble. So we see that decomposition reaction is leading us to preparation of an insoluble salt, meaning we are going to come up with a soluble salt, a soluble compound, and an insoluble compound. The insoluble compound will be the insoluble salt. So when we add our lead-2 nitrate plus hydrochloric acid, we shall have exchange of radicals. The radicals now lead to the lead will be given chlorine, and hydrogen will come up with the nitrate ions. So we shall be coming up with the lead-2 chloride plus nitric acid. So the lead-2 chloride is a white precipitate which is a solid, and nitric acid, of course, it is an aqueous. So the insoluble compound we are having here after the reaction, it is lead-2 chloride. So meaning lead-2 chloride is an insoluble salt. Then Roman numeral 2 tells us to get few drops of potassium iodide solution to be added to the lead-2 nitrate. So our lead-2 nitrate plus potassium iodide, of course, lead-2 nitrate, we said it is an aqueous, plus potassium iodide, which is also an aqueous. We see that again it is a double decomposition reaction, which we say that a double decomposition reaction is a reaction between two soluble compounds to produce two new compounds, one of which is a soluble compound and the other is insoluble. Meaning here in a double decomposition reaction where we say that we have exchange of radicals. Exchange of radicals, for this case, lead will get the iodine, and the potassium will get the nitrate. So we shall come up with the lead-2 iodide and the potassium nitrate. Lead-2 iodide is a yellow precipitate, which is a solid, and the potassium nitrate, of course, it is an aqueous. So that is it that I can talk about number 1B. Then number 1C tells us to state what will be observed and write an equation for the reaction if crystals of lead-2 nitrate are heated strongly in a dry test tube. We are told that all nitrates when heated they liberate oxygen, but it depends on the reactivity series. So this reactivity series is grouped in 3. Of course, I shall not talk about them now, but lead-2 nitrate or lead belongs to the middle group, whereby that middle group, it will lead us to the liberation of nitrogen dioxide and the oxygen. So if we get our lead-2 nitrate and we separate off nitrogen dioxide, the nitrate ion will be remaining with the oxygen. Then we separate also oxygen, we find that we are remaining with the lead-2 oxide. So this reaction will lead us to the liberation of lead-2 oxide plus nitrogen dioxide plus oxygen gas, where we say that all nitrates when heated strongly they lead us to the liberation of oxygen gas. For the equations that I have talked about in this video, I have a draft of it here, of which it might not be clear to you. Then I should do like the draft will be drafted in the next video.